In this tutorial I will show how to use the sun path function inside Vasari for looking into shadow studies. If you haven't specified the specific location, you should do that before you get started, and you do that by going to Analyze and specify it under Location. This is shown in a previous video. In this video we'll focus on how to do sun and shadow studies. Second, I recommend to create a view specific for that season you want to simulate and analyze. In this case I have created one for each season: fall, spring, summer and winter. And for these different views I have specified the specific date. I will just show this briefly, but it's shown in another video as well. I will start by turn on the shadows, and the shadows I can turn on by going to the bottom menu bar here and click on this icon for shadows, and the shadows will be turned on. Besides this, there is a sun icon, and this activate the sun path by say sun path on. You maybe don't want to have this visible all the time, but in this case I will have it turned on so we can see what's going on, because I'm going to show some functionalities with this. If you haven't specified the season and time interval, you will click on the sun again, go to sun settings. You can choose different sun settings, like just for a single day for the 4 seasons. We have opened the view for the summer, so I will choose the summer. And I have earlier in my climate and weather and context analysis defined that I wanted to look into the time interval between 9 to 18. So this is fine for now. I have the option of selecting this sun icon, and by drag it around you can see the shadows is moving through the day like this. There is also shown when the sun gets up and get down. So this is a manual way of looking into the different shadows at different time on day. If I go down to the sun again and activate this one, preview solar study, there will come a new sub menu. Instead of moving around with the sun, we can press next frame, so we'll move forward or backward. There is also another interesting function, and that is you can press on this play button and this will simulate the sun path through this time interval. If we want to use this play function, we should have enough frames. It's going to the sun settings again. The time intervals down here, defining the steps. If I take just 1 hour and press OK, it will be very fast. So a good tip is to set this interval to just 15 minutes, so there will be 4 frames each hour. If I want to store or do some after processing with these results, I can do that in different ways. If I, for example, want to export this view in this direction, I could, for example, turn off the sun path, so only have the shadows, for example. For that I go to the sun and say sun path off, and then I can go to the Vasari icon saying export as images and animation. 2 possibilities. I will start with just the simple image export, and this is just a warning you can ignore. In this dialog box you specify the position where you want to save it by click on change, and I recommend you to call it something logic so you know what it is. For example, summer at 12 o'clock, and then you can specify which resolution you want to export the images in this area, image size, if the pixels counts in the vertical axis or the horizontal axis. Here you should have it click for this current window, because it's actually possible to only export visible portion of current window or export several views in the same time. I will just say this current window in this case. Here you have the option of choosing between different images file formats. I will just in this example use the JPEG medium, and when I click OK it will export the images. This is just because I already have saved an image under this name, so I will just overwrite this one. And here we see the export image. There is also another option. If we again go to the Vasari icon to export images and animation and choose this one, solar study, we actually can create a little movie of how the sun and shadow moves through this specific day between the specified time interval. And we can also choose another visual style if we want to do this. The resolution, and if I click OK, I will get an option of saving this one. I have already a file here, but again, always give a file a logical name like summer between 9 and 18. That is the specified time interval. And we should choose the .avi file format, that's the video file format. It's also possible to save these frames that create the movie as still pictures, but in this case we will export it as a movie and then save. Here you have the option of specifying how this video creation should be. It could be uncompressed, use this one, press OK, and then it will simulate these different steps, and it takes a little bit time to do that. And to show how this look like, this movie, press play, see how the shadows is moving through the day. You could also do this in a top view, go to floor plans, where you could do the same analysis and movie we just have done.